This is a love reading for Cancer for October 2017. So, what I see is that probably in the recent past, and I'm talking about probably like within the last 2 or 3 years, okay? You had a reconciliation with somebody, all right? And it was someone from your past, and you probably had been with them for quite a while. And you always felt like they were the one. They were always the one that you wanted to be with, the one you envisioned being your husband. Now, this relationship is a past life relationship, which means it was a karmic relationship, meaning that there's something that you have to learn from each other, okay? Now, I definitely feel like the reason why you broke up in the first place, okay, because you've had a reconciliation with them, but you were broken up with them in the past. It has to do with him or her stepping out on you, okay? Meaning seeing other people. Flirting with other people, sleeping with other people. And this is always difficult for you because, you know, this was somebody that you wanted to marry, you wanted to be with for the rest of your life, and so you obviously never wanted to let them go. But also because there was such a strong connection with that person. Like, the chemistry was off the hook, and there was an element of codependency between the two of you. So, like, no matter how many times this person left you for other people, they always came back to you because there was a need for you. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that he or she could never like find that same chemistry with somebody else, okay? And I think also they also probably envisioned you being their husband or wife, okay? So, like, there was always just something about you that they were like, I can't let this person go, okay? I think that it did take you a long time to get to a place where you were okay with taking them back again. You had to work really, really hard on giving the relationship a chance, okay? Now, since you have reconciled, I think currently, behind the scenes, you may not know about this, I think it's hard for him to give the relationship a chance only because of his or her their like urges, their desires. So I think that they're wrestling with the idea of cheating. And the reason why I say I think this person is wrestling with this idea is because this reconciliation probably resulted in marriage. Or something just very, very committed, okay? Like they promised a commitment to you. So they don't want to break that promise. They don't want to break up a marriage. They don't want to do that, okay? So this is why they are trying so hard to bury those feelings of like just wanting to be with other people. And, you know, it's also hard for them to understand because like they know they have this amazing chemistry with you and they know that they have this codependency with you. And so they don't quite understand it themselves. And this is what the karmic lesson is for you guys, okay? The karmic lesson is sort of this situation where, like, do you choose commitment and love over, excitement or the thrill of it all. I mean, I don't really know what people get out of cheating on other people. I definitely feel like for some people it's just like an adrenaline rush or something. And it could also have to do with validation, knowing that you still got it, that you could still get somebody, a certain person that looked like that or had that type of job, or, whatever it is. People can be very superficial. So it's difficult for them. They're having a lot of issues with this situation. Now, this marriage or committed relationship is or has resulted in children. Okay, so either you have children with this person or you will have children with this person. And that's another reason why they are fighting this feeling of wanting to cheat or flirt with other people, is because they have a family with you and they don't want to break up their family. So very, very soon they will decide to stay with you, to give the relationship a chance. They're going to decide to give the relationship a chance. Okay, they're not going to cheat. Okay, they're going to try to believe that that this is where they're meant to be. Okay. Now, what you have to realize, though, is that this is a karmic relationship, okay? So you have lessons to learn from this person about codependency, about maybe not letting somebody go, because, like, I definitely felt like there was a very long pattern going on with this person. So, like, there was a breaking up and getting back together, breaking up and getting back together. So, I hate to tell you this, but I feel like it could happen again. This sort of pattern could happen again, where they, at some point in the future, even though they've started a family with you, they have codependency for you, they might lose the fight with themselves to cheat, to flirt with other people, and this sort of thing could lead to another breakup. So you have to realize that this is what happens when you sort of force a relationship, when you try to force falling in love with somebody. I'm not saying that there isn't love here, but it's not a true love. And I'm so sorry to say this, because codependent love has conditions on it. And so when you have that sort of situation, there's you can't really ever create a true love out of that. And what I think you're going to realize is that adding children to the relationship may actually only put a strain on the relationship, because children are stressful, and sometimes, like, if there's not enough love, and the relationship is only based on, you know, this sort of like sexual chemistry intertwined with some sort of codependency. And, you know, when I say codependency, I mean, you know, it means addiction, right? So like addiction to somebody, or addiction to something that they're giving you. Okay, now it could be anything. It could be as superficial as, like, you know, like performing a fetish for somebody, or it could go as deep as, like, just like addiction to getting a certain validation from somebody. So I think you need to be really, really careful with this relationship, especially because there's children involved, and you know, if there is a codependency there, and a forcing of feelings, or a forcing of a relationship, you really need to try really hard to take those situations out of the relationship. So any sort of codependency and that sort of thing, like, you really have to try to eliminate that and work on creating an unconditional love. Okay? As far as I see it, that's the only way it's going to work out. Okay? Otherwise, you'll be stuck in this sort of cycle of, like, somebody cheating, breaking up, getting back together, somebody cheating, breaking up, getting back together. Or at some point, you won't be able to take it anymore, and you guys would just call it quits. So you really need to start to work on that, and be aware of the red flags that are present. I'm really sorry that if you felt this was a harsh reading. You know, I call it like I see it. I don't mince words. So I hope you appreciate my honesty, and if you want a more in-depth reading, or if this didn't resonate with you, contact me for a personal reading, and we'll get to the bottom of your relationship. Okay. Thanks for listening, and I wish you all the best.